This week in Sci-Fi, we've got our eye on the sonic screwdriver is passed to a new Doctor. Extended episodes for Season 3 of The Orville. Gameplay released for the new Stargate RPG Timekeepers. And a first look at new series, Moonhaven. Welcome to Eye on Sci-Fi, I'm Raymond Pedora. The BBC have announced who will be playing the 14th Doctor Who when Jodie Whittaker hangs up her Sonic later this year. Rwandan-born Scottish actor Ncuti Gatwa has picked up the high-profile role. He has previously been seen as Eric Effeyong in Netflix's Sex Education, for which he received 3 BAFTA nominations. Gatwa will hit our screens as the Doctor in 2023. And in other Doctor Who news, the BBC has confirmed David Tennant and Catherine Tate will be part of a 60th anniversary special planned for next year. A new teaser has dropped for the Orville New Horizons, otherwise known as Season 3. Season 2 ended as the Kalons were going to war, and not surprisingly, we can expect space battles this season. The show has moved studios from Fox to Hulu, which Seth MacFarlane explained was necessary to support his more ambitious creative vision for the show. This means fewer episodes this season, just 11, but each will be 15 minutes longer. The Orville will be fast-tracked to Australia for June 3 on SBS and Disney+. A teaser has also dropped for the Resident Evil TV series. Based on the video game, the series will be set across 2 timelines, one just before the T-virus is unleashed on the world, and the other more than a decade later. Both will follow Jade, who in the first timeline is a teenager, who begins to suspect her father may be concealing dark secrets. In the second, she is one of the few left alive on Earth, hunted by monsters created from people infected with the T-virus. The series will be available from July 14th on Netflix. We reported previously on Moonhaven when it featured amongst this year's Super Bowl ads, but without a lot of detail. A teaser has finally been released to help fill in the blanks. The series is set a century into the future on a utopian lunar colony created to explore solutions to Earth's environmental problems which threaten humanity's existence. Main character Bella Sway is a smuggler exiled to Moonhaven for her crimes, where she gets sucked into a conspiracy to gain control of the colony. Moonhaven is produced by AMC, whose streaming service is available in Australia as an add-on to Amazon Prime and Apple TV. But AMC shows often get picked up by other Australian services, so we'll keep you updated. This series is live from July 7. Game publisher Slytherin has released gameplay footage and developed commentary for their upcoming tactical RPG Stargate Timekeepers. Players lead a team of specialists through a story-driven campaign set in the SG-1 universe. There's a time loop mystery to unravel and a go-all threat to overcome. It was thought the developers were hoping to launch a public beta to mark the 25th anniversary of Stargate SG-1's first screening on July 27, but no word yet if that's still the plan. Even if not, Stargate Timekeepers is still expected to drop later this year on PC. Metaverse comedy Upload has been picked up for a 3rd season by Amazon Studios. Since Season 2 premiered on Amazon Prime earlier this year, Upload has been one of their top 10 series, although we assume they mean originals. Series 1 and 2 are available now on Amazon Prime. Last week we asked viewers if they liked the episode per week format of Strange New Worlds or if they preferred a storyline across the entire series. There was strong support for episode of the week, with 3/4 preferring a story of the week format. This week we're asking viewers what they think of the choice for the new Doctor Who. You can vote at ionsci-fi.com. Joining us now for the latest Hollywood news is North American correspondent Christian Baines. Hi Christian, thanks for joining us.
Hi Raymond, pleasure to be here.
So let's get straight into it. Let's talk about the Eye on Sci-Fi Awards. It seems there are a few films and TV shows that really dominated this year.
Yeah, dominated is probably a good word. No real surprises in the film side of things. Our voters were very much in agreement with members of the Academy and Oscar voters in giving June pretty much its sweep of our film awards, from Best Actor through to production through to that magnificent score. I mean, that's not really a surprise. Denis Villeneuve is someone with an obvious love for sci-fi. He has a love for intelligent adult sci-fi. It's a story very close to his heart, and it's a story very close to a lot of sci-fi fans' hearts. And we've been waiting a long time for a film that does Frank Herbert's universe justice. And finally, we have at least half of that in this film of Dune. In terms of TV, again, it's another beloved story, but Foundation. I'm not sure I'd consider this one a surprise. Foundation had the advantage of being a new series. It was very fresh. It was very original. It was another beloved property. It was exquisitely acted, and it had probably the best production design we've seen of any sci-fi since The Expanse debuted 5-6 years ago. So The Expanse, incidentally, picked up the sole award that was not taken by Foundation, which was for performance. But yeah, Foundation and Dune, I think two worthy winners in terms of claiming awards in a very competitive field.
Now, we've gotten some big news about everybody's favorite Time Lord, and that is the announcement of the brand new Doctor. What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, congratulations to Ncuti Gatwa, who'll take the sonic screwdriver into its next iteration. He, of course, he's already a darling of the British small screen with his unforgettable performance as Eric on Netflix's sex education comedy series. He's also appeared in a number of BBC miniseries and movies. He has the humor, he has the energy. It's just pure personality whenever he's on screen, and he should make for an unforgettable Doctor, and certainly one unlike any that we've seen before. I mean, he is an actor, and he's an actor that bubbles with personality, as we said, but he's proven, more importantly, that he can carry off a very eccentric character, which is absolutely the Doctor. We've seen a couple of fairly straight-laced Doctors in the last couple of iterations. So this kind of move is a really great one for the character. And it recalls some classic elements of Doctor Who in a new direction that makes a lot of sense and is consistent with how the series has been going so far.
Now, the industry loves a reboot, and Quantum Leap seems to be getting one, and that's getting closer to release. Can you tell us anything more about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a little while for Quantum Leap. It's been 29 years, in fact, since it wrapped up on screens. And unlike a lot of other cult hit shows, it grew organically from pretty modest ratings when it began. But it's now become quite a beloved property, and it's always been on our minds long after it wrapped up on the air. The reboot, I think, could go one of two ways. Either it'll capture the spirit of the original series for modern sensibility, or it won't. That is the challenge for any reboot. It's as simple as that. Also, on a more tragic note, there is the recent loss of Dean Stockwell, which brings a touch of poignancy to the upcoming reboot as well. Again, in terms of who it's being handed to, Raymond Lee, fantastic actor. He has big time-jumping shoes to fill, but I think he's up to the challenge.
I can't wait to see it. I need to catch up on the previous seasons.
Absolutely. Well, this is to be something of a continuation, not just a straight reboot. So we'll see what that means. That idea of a recall has certainly caught on in cinema, certainly horror cinema in the last few years. So we'll see how it translates to sci-fi TV.
Now, it seems that everyone is enjoying the latest Star Trek television show, Strange New Worlds. What are your thoughts on the brand new show?
Oh, Strange New Worlds, it was came out this week that it has currently the highest ranking of any Star Trek series on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, we are only 2 episodes in. That is way too early to judge a series, but it is off to a cracking start as far as I'm concerned. Right from the first episode, I was a little bit hesitant at first because we're introduced to Captain Pike, and of course there's no secrets in regards to the trauma that Captain Pike lives with, foreseeing his own death and everything. There are no spoilers here. All of this is revealed in the original series. But, we're starting off with that come back on the team, work through your fears, work through your trauma trope, which is very well worn. But almost immediately, we're immersed in really fun supporting characters. The character of Captain Pike is instantly likable. Anson Mount gives a wonderful performance. He's kind of melded the best qualities of Kirk and Picard. So it's kind of a Trek fan's dream captain in a way. Rebecca Romaine as number one is wonderful. Just the entire cast, whether they've slipped into an old character or new, have made the roles very much their own. The crew integrates together extremely well, and I think it's going to be very well received. One thing that is instantly noticeable about it is just how wonderful it looks, and the wonderful job of the production design in maintaining a look that is consistent with the original series, but makes you wonder, okay, what would Gene Roddenberry have done with the money he could throw at it now? So I think Strange New Worlds does a great job in answering that question. It tackles some of Trek's, I won't give any spoilers here, but it tackles some classic Trek questions right out of the gate in its first couple of episodes. So yeah, I'm excited to see what more of these standalone episodes will look like. I'm glad to have another series of Trek that is structured in standalone episodes. I think Discovery and Picard have done a great job with the serialization, but it's good to have something different.
Last week's poll, we did ask everyone if they preferred serialized or stories within individual episodes, and the overwhelming majority preferred the style that Strange New Worlds is going for. What's your personal favorite way of consuming Star Trek?
Well, first of all, I want to shout out the writers of Deep Space Nine, who are over here sitting here thinking, excuse us, we were doing that before it was cool. The writers of Babylon 5 as well, let's be honest. But you know what? I honestly don't have a preference. It's all in the execution. If you deliver great episodes, 2/3 out of your season in standalone stories, that's terrific. If you deliver a completely compelling narrative over numerous episodes, that's great for me too. It is all in the execution. We've certainly seen enough series drop the ball trying to tell a long form narrative. We've seen fantastic films that are taken to TV series and then just die because they don't have enough to explore, or they fall back on television cliches to try and pad out a serialized narrative. So I think what Strange New Worlds is trying to do is right for that series and right for the timing. But in terms of which I prefer, it's all in the execution as far as I'm concerned, and it's got to be right for the project.
Now, a new trailer dropped for one of HBO's flagship shows that is on its 4th season, and that is Westworld. And it seems as if we haven't been to Westworld in a while. So what can you tell us about the upcoming season?
Oh, I love Westworld, but these long waits between seasons are dangerous on a show like Westworld because there is so much to remember. I felt the series had a fantastic season 1, opened really strong. Things wavered a little bit in season 2 as we started to get into a world that was not only much more mentally demanding for the audience, but also a lot darker and a lot nastier and a lot more violent. It was just a more difficult series to engage with. And then by the end of season 2, it all comes back together for me. And season 3, again, very similar vibe to season 2. So it's a series that has always known how to lure me back in, but we know that Westworld is not afraid to completely throw its audience in the deep end. We know that it's not afraid to have long gaps in time, not only between when seasons are released, but between when they're set chronologically. We know it's not afraid to mess with the timelines, and letting its audience catch up. But the quality of writing is high enough that we do catch up. The performances are good enough that we do understand the character progressions. So I definitely will be interested to check out season 4. But yeah, Westworld, it sets itself up for a very difficult assignment. So I'll be intrigued to see how it pans out.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Christian, and good to chat with you.
A pleasure to be here as always, Raymond. Thank you so much for having me.
And that was the week in sci-fi. For more news throughout the week and to vote in the poll, go to islandsci-fi.com.